life for a life. You must give up the person you love the most to get that which you desire. I will take her back after 20 seasons. Take good care of her.
In the vibrant village of Ikare, where the air was filled with the melodies of birds and the scent of blooming flowers, there lived a woman named Morenike. Morenike, a woman of grace and virtue, had been married to her husband Ojo for 3 seasons, but the laughter of a child was yet to grace their home. Despite their deep love for each other, the absence of a child weighed heavily on Morenike's heart. Ojo, not wanting anything to bother his wife, showered her with an abundance of love and respect, making their bond the envy of the village. Every market day, Ojo, a dedicated fisherman, would help Morenike carry her foodstuff to the bustling local market. He would then return home to clean and cook before setting out for his day of fishing. This act of care stirred the admiration of the village women. Morenike's radiant smile and the harmonious relationship with Ojo became the talk of the village. Living next door to Morenike was Bisi, a woman whose heart was tainted with jealousy. Bisi had a son of her own, yet the love and respect Ojo showered upon Morenike left her burning with jealousy. Bisi, the cunning neighbor, decided to weave a web of deceit around Morenike. Driven by resentment, Bisi subtly befriended Morenike. As their friendship deepened, Morenike, yearning for companionship in her childless state, began confiding in Bisi. Little did she know that Bisi harbored a sinister plan fueled by envy. One day, as they strolled to the stream, Bisi spoke of the mystical Iroko tree in the heart of Ikare forest, a tree said to possess powers capable of granting the deepest desires of those who sought its favor. Intrigued yet hesitant, Morenike listened as Bisi spun tales of people who had received blessings beyond imagination. Bisi, having visited the Iroko herself, withheld the ominous truth about the price it demanded in return for its blessings. And so she seized the opportunity to play on Morenike's vulnerability. You are clinging to a god who hasn't blessed you with a child. The almighty Iroko, however, can fulfill your deepest desires without delay. Why persist in believing in a god who seems to have turned a deaf ear to your pleas? Bisi whispered. Her words dripped with deceit. Like a venomous serpent, Bisi continued to plant seeds of doubt in Morenike's heart, convincing Morenike that her loyalty to God had been in vain. Over time, Morenike's faith in God started to waver. Torn between her faith in God and the persistent whispers of the Iroko from Bisi, the seed of doubt took root. Bisi's whispers gradually eroded the walls of Morenike's resistance. Fueled by desperation, Morenike succumbed to Bisi's persuasion and decided to visit the Iroko without Ojo's knowledge as advised by Bisi. The mystical tree loomed in the distance, its ancient branches whispering promises of fulfillment as Morenike stood before the towering Iroko. With a heavy heart, she voiced her deepest desire. I need a child of my own, mighty one. The Iroko, in a voice like rustling leaves, agreed to grant her desire, but with a chilling condition. However, the price was steep.
A life for a life.
Echoed the spirit of the
You
Iroko.
must give up the person you love the most to get that which you desire.
Fear and regret surged through Morenike's veins. Shivers ran down her spine as she attempted to flee. But the spirits of the forest manifested in the form of wild animals, surrounding her with an unyielding force. Those who sought the Iroko's favor never lives without completing the quest. In tears, she pleaded with the ancient tree, but the forest remained steadfast in its demand. Desperation and sorrow overwhelmed Morenike as she realized the terrible price she will have to pay. Out of regret, she cried out, "I don't want your child anymore. Please, let me go." In a loud voice, the Iroko replied,
I will take her back after 20 seasons. Take good care of her.
With a heavy heart and a tear-streaked face, Morenike accepted the terms, offering the life of the child she so much longed for on her 20th birthday. Broken and defeated, Morenike wept bitterly as the forest released its grip on her, allowing her to live with the heavy burden of a secret pact. Days passed, and Morenike's outward demeanor changed. The once vibrant woman became a mere shadow of her former self. The weight of the secret she bore ate away at her, casting a somber cloud over her every step. Sooner than expected, Morenike discovered she was pregnant. The news of her pregnancy spread like wildfire, and Ojo's joy knew no bounds. He celebrated the impending arrival of their child with exuberance, throwing a grand party to express gratitude for God's answered prayers. Yet, amidst the festivities, Morenike's heart sank. The burden of the secret she carried weighed heavily on her. How could she tell Ojo the truth? The conflicting emotions tore at her soul, leaving her trapped in a web of guilt and despair. As months passed, Ojo's excitement grew, but Morenike's anguish deepened. Her heart trembled with the burden of the secret she bore. The joy around her felt like a cruel illusion, for she knew that her child's fate had been sealed by a pact with the mysterious Iroko. Desperate and tormented, Morenike grappled with the looming dilemma. How will she tell Ojo about the deal she made in the shadows of the ancient tree? The fear of judgment from both her husband and the villagers paralyzed her every thought. Ojo, sensing the distress in his wife, grew increasingly concerned. He spoke with his wife, asking her the reason why she always looked gloomy. But Morenike always said nothing, that all was fine. Unable to bear the uncertainty any longer, he sought solace in Bisi, Morenike's closest friend. Unbeknownst to him, Bisi harbored jealousy and resentment, and seizing the opportunity to sow discord, she disclosed Morenike's secret pact with the Iroko. Fabricating a tale of concern, Bisi painted herself as a well-meaning friend who had urged Morenike to confess to her husband. Fury gripped Ojo's heart as he stormed home, confronted Morenike, and demanded the truth. Tearfully, Morenike confessed, her voice trembling with regret. The revelation shattered the illusion of their joyous celebration, leaving a void in Ojo's heart. The once jubilant Ikare village now buzzed with gossip and whispers. Morenike, who had proclaimed her faith in a living God, faced the judgmental gaze of her community. Moral lesson. This story teaches us to be mindful of the type of people we keep as friends, and also to be mindful of the type of discussions we have with those we call friends. It also teaches us about the consequences of making deals in desperation and the importance of honesty in relationships. It highlights the destructive nature of envy and warns against seeking solutions in the shadows that may compromise one's integrity and the trust of those we hold dear. The story also emphasizes that, in the face of challenges, open communication with our partners is essential for navigating the complexities of life. Do you want to know if Morenike eventually gave birth? Do you also want to know what happened between Morenike and her husband Ojo? If you enjoy my story and you want to know all this, please make sure to subscribe, not forgetting to hit on the bell notification icon so that when the part 2 of this story drops, you will be the first to know about it. Thank you.